Well, to get a clearer picture of what's happened at Quilinto prison, we're joined in the studio by Zelealem Tessema, an Ethiopian human rights activist. Thank you very much indeed for coming in. So what is known for sure to have happened at that Quilinto prison?
What's known actually to have happened is, according to eyewitnesses, the news was first broke by independent media organizations who are based outside Ethiopia, that families went to deliver food to their family members and loved ones at 8 o'clock in the morning. No fire, no gunshots, no nothing, but unusually there were high security sort of movements around that. It looks like that this was planned and they knew what they were doing. So at 9:30, before any fire broke out, there were gunfires. And then apparently the fire was set and people were trying to run away from the fire and they were mowed down by security forces.
So gunshots were heard before the fire started?
Absolutely.
Now, we don't know who died yet, but what's the identity of the people who were in that prison? I understand they included prominent political dissidents and human rights activists.
Indeed, this is a very high security prison, which is in the outskirts of Addis. It hosts around 3,000 people in 4 blocks, and there are some high-profile political opposition leaders of the Oromo National Congress, the deputy chair and the secretary.
And of course the Oromas are one of the big ethnic groups fighting the government at the moment.
Indeed, yeah, leading protests for rights. And there are the leader of the spokesperson for the Blue Party, and there are also people who are working on reconciliations of the Muslims in Ethiopia due to the incursion by the government.
Right. So how surprised are you at the government's version of events, given that this incident has happened against the backdrop of national unrest that we're seeing on our screens?
Well, it's hardly surprising. I don't know if you remember, this is a government that sets bombs and blames others. According to the WikiLeaks reports that came out in 2011, 3 bombs were set in the center of Addis and then trying to blame the neighboring government of Eritrea. So it's hardly surprising. And looking at especially what they are saying in terms of casualties, they're saying first 1 person, and then they come out and they say 20.
Right, so it's not clear what's going on.
The right number could be as high.
Right. The Ethiopian Prime Minister has blamed anti-peaceful elements for all the violence. Is there the remotest chance of a negotiated settlement?
It's very, very unlikely. This is the hand of the security forces. These are people who they would have, if the world was not watching, would have killed them before they went to court. They were waiting for their trials.
Yeah, but briefly, what do the protesters want?
What the protests want basically for their constitutional rights to be respected. Nothing more, nothing less.
They want to get rid of the government, do they?
Well, not necessarily if the government is respecting its own constitutions. But this is not about human rights issue now. It appears that it is a regime who is bent on bulldozing and killing everybody who stands in its way or asks for its own basic rights.
Okay, Zelealem Tessema, an Ethiopian human rights activist based here in London. Thank you very much indeed.